Welcome to BizBaby. I'm Sergey Patricky, your guide into the business world. Today we will talk about labor law and responsibilities that come with having employees. Are you ready to dive straight into it? I hope you are because we're doing it anyway. Labor and law, two things that bring goosebumps to any experienced business owner. We're going to dive into the basics of what that means for you, our fellow entrepreneur. Legal disclaimer, I'm not your attorney and can't legally advise you. Before following any of the information in this video, consult with the licensed attorney first. Following is the list we will cover in this chapter. Number 1, wage laws. Number 2, schedules. Number 3, taxes. Number 4, unions. Number 5, workers' comp. Number 6, unemployment insurance. Number 7, health insurance. Number 8, warnings. And number 9, paid time off. Wage laws differ from state to state. You must pay minimum wage, $15 per hour, in New York on 2021 for non-tipped workers and $5 per hour for tipped workers, such as servers in a restaurant. However, they must still make a minimum wage after getting tips. Workers must have at least 30 minutes food break in the first 8 hours of work and additional 15 minutes every additional 4 hours after that. Any hours worked in the excess of 40 hours a week must be paid 1.5 times of the hourly rate for overtime. Note, this information constantly changes and is different from state to state. Also, 40 hours a week is a limit for the entire week. It means that workers can technically work 20 hours in one day and 20 hours in the second day and still not fall in the requirement for overtime. However, nobody can really work 20 hours in one day. That's crazy, right? Is it? Next is schedules. Number 2. In most cases, businesses are required to provide weekly schedule to a new hire and give at least 1 week in advance if it changes. Some cities and states penalize businesses for the last-minute schedule changes, and especially when it happens on a constant basis. Number 3, taxes. Taxes should be automatically deducted from the employee's payroll and paid by the business every quarter or monthly. Amount of taxes and deductions is calculated based on a W-2 form your employees fill out when you hire them. For those who use the BizBaby payroll feature, BizBaby doesn't submit your business or payroll taxes on your behalf to the state and government and federal government. You need to find a payroll provider that can do it for you. We used Intuit and ADP companies previously. Next one is unions. Any business with 2 or more employees is subject to potential unionization. That means their workers can request a union election held with NLRB, and if elected, business will have to bargain with the union leaders to have special employment conditions and pay for unionized workers. Process can be relatively quick, from submitting a petition by a group of workers to holding an election within 3 to 4 months. Elections are anonymous and usually done by mail. However, sometimes it's also done in person as well. Unfortunately, in small business, unions usually spell a death sentence, since it creates a distance between workers and the business owner. Distrust among unionized workers and those who chose not to join the union, since there is rarely any human resources department to deal with intricacies of unions in small businesses. Any lack of financial resources to provide additional financial benefits to unionized workers, that is the reason usually union workers unionize. The next one is workers' comp. In order to protect workers from work accidents, each state requires businesses to contribute an additional percentage based on a payroll into special workers' compensation insurance. Failure to have such compensation insurance can result in heavy fines. And in case of accident, payment for medical expenses will be placed directly onto the business. And trust me, those expenses are huge. Next one is unemployment insurance. Similar to workers' comp, each state collects unemployment insurance to insure employees that lose the job, to cover the funds of their unemployment for the next 6 months. Some states, I think, might be different, and also depending on a financial situation in a country. For example, in the COVID, that 6 months period was extended for much longer. Those funds are collected from business monthly, percent based on a payroll. Usually the UI rate goes higher when employees are fired from the company and then collect unemployment insurance. The next one is paid time off and a sick leave. In New York, there is no requirement on paid time off, vacation days. However, businesses with 5 or more employees are required to provide at least 40 hours of paid sick leave in 2021. However, this will be different not only between states but also cities. The next one is health insurance. Most states require businesses to provide health insurance benefits to their employees when they employ more than a certain number of workers. In New York, that number was 50 in 2021. That doesn't mean businesses must fully cover insurance, but simply provide a health insurance that employees can choose to use and pay before tax deduction. Some states provide health insurance assistance to small business owners, allowing them to provide some very good health insurance benefits to their employees. This will increase employee retention and happiness. And who doesn't like that? Don't hesitate to check with your city and state for such programs. The next one is labor and wage laws. Those are one of the strictest laws when it comes to employers. Labor Department doesn't care about legal status of the workers when it comes to wages, work conditions, and mistreatment and abuses. IRS and state departments don't tolerate unpaid or unreported income taxes. Again, they're not connected to Homeland Security and don't really care about workers' legal status. As of the making of this video, maybe it has changed since the time that this video was made. Every employee is treated the same way as if they are citizens and must be paid minimum wage regardless. Taxes must be reported and paid on time. Otherwise, you are subject to heavy penalties. As a company and the officer of the company, or even a manager level who knew that there was a distributed unfair wages or unlawful wages. Yeah. Let's go over everything one more time that we've covered in this video. Number 1, wage laws. Number 2, schedule. Number 3, taxes. Number 4, unions. Number 5, workers' comp. Number 6, unemployment insurance. Number 7, paid time off. Number 8, health insurance. And number 9, warnings. Congratulations, you are now educated on the basics of labor law, one of the most important legal aspects of owning a business and not being a business. Of course, if you are the only worker in your company, then this article is kind of useless. Thank you for watching, subscribe to the channel below, and see you next time.